The Princess has developed a bit of a starting problem, but only first thing in the morning. I don't know why, but I had an ask on the forums and I've been given a couple of suggestions, and one of them seems very likely. So let's show you what it's like when I start it. It's completely cold, I've not started it today, I've not used the car since yesterday. Because of the temperature we have to use some choke. The locking mechanism doesn't work on my choke, hasn't for the whole time I've owned the car, which is really normal on these cars, so I'm having to use some clothes pegs. Here we go then. Steering lock off. I let the fuel pump just prime the system briefly. Just turn the fan off. So that's the fuel pump that you can hear. See, that's really typical, because normally when I try and start the car, it won't go. When you're running an older car, especially every day, you do need to check your fluids more frequently than you would with a modern vehicle. With the Princess, that means checking the oil and the coolant at least once a week. They're staying perfectly fine as far as I can tell. If you're running points and condenser, you need to check your points gap and you need to check that the points themselves are nice and clean. I'm not. I'm on electronic ignitions, so I don't need to worry about that one. Rotor arm and distributor cap is also worth checking for corrosion and wear. Again, not a problem on here. I've checked very recently. So I know all those things are good. I know my spark leads are in good health. I know the spark plugs are okay. So trying to figure out what the problem is with the starting, which typically it didn't do today. What normally happens is you try and start the car, you turn the key, it fires, and then it just dies immediately. And you do that 3 times, and on the 3rd time the car runs. Don't know why it was doing it, but it was doing it. But asking on the forum, somebody suggested the dashpot level. And I haven't checked the dashpot since having the head off and back on again, and normally that's something I would check along with everything else. So let's do the squelch test. This is an SU HIF6. You have your dashpot up here where you put some light oil in, and you have a plunger. And when you put the plunger in, it should make a squelching noise and you should feel some resistance. There's a squelch when you pull it out, but there's almost no resistance, there's almost no squelch there. So that's probably the issue, is the dashpot oil is low. So I should put some fresh oil in there. There are lots and lots of different opinions on what oil to use in your dashpot. As long as it's a light oil, you should be okay. You can buy specific oils for specific carburetors. I'll go and find mine and I'll top this up. That was pretty much empty given how much I had to put in. There's now resistance. That's what you want. You want to hear that horrible noise, and you want to feel a bit of resistance as you push it in. There are specific quantities for putting it in and measuring it and that sort of thing, but unless you can completely empty it and go from scratch, it's difficult to do it that way. So it's always best to just put some in, test it. If it's not enough, put a bit more in. Worst case, you'll put too much in and the excess will just go away. I doubt it'll make much difference, but let's fire it up and see if it has. Well, my doubt there was clearly misplaced. That starts up about as well as it ever does, and better than it has been even on the second start. So I think we might have found the problem. A nice easy fix. Just a quick note with old cars, when you first start them, if you see a lot of this sort of thing, it's normal. It's just condensation in the system, and if everything warms up, that reduces and goes away. Also, we're on full choke at the moment. That alters your visible emissions. It's not anything to worry about unless you're experiencing a dramatic loss of fluids, or if it smells sweet like coolant. This doesn't smell of anything much, really. I like it when it's an easy fix. I'll have to keep an eye on that one. There's a weird stumbling issue I get occasionally, but I've never tracked it alongside actually filling up the dashpot, so it could be all these years that problem and the occasional starting problem I have is just the dashpot fluid. How I've not figured that out over the last 10 years. Oh well.
There's several between the football club and home, so.
Like an old ash that had come down?
Yeah, loads of ashes are coming down. It's a little driftwood piles of sticks in at the side of the road that really give it away that it's been blustering.
It's a bit of a relief.
Yeah.
So I imagine being commercials, they get a lot of shit stuff coming.
Yeah. But the bloke said when he took the rocker cover off, he said it was clean in there. And the point being, I said to them, well, I've made it like whenever I get an MOT, I usually do the oil and the oil change and the oil filter, and I just get them to change the filter and the oil every year. And he went, oh, that'll keep it clean. But I said, this year I'm doing it next month, so I'm going to book it here if it goes through the MOT, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And he smiled at me and he went, I'll see what I can do. Like, you know, he wasn't going to, but he was just like joking along. But it's nice having that sort of relationship because, oh, it's your car, your van that we did. All right, okay. Do it properly. There's a bulb blown on this, just replace it and we'll tell him later, you know.
Finding a good garage is difficult.
That's why when they did your tracking arms so quickly and they seemed all right and they were all right with doing an old piece of shit like that Maestro, and I thought, well, if they like doing that Maestro, They're going to love my van. What's up?
So, right, guy, the VW cocked up, exiting the roundabout. I don't think he did it on purpose. I just didn't know it's a mergy lane.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's where that tree's come down.
yeah. There's a couple
Massive tree.
Yeah, that's what the one I said in front of DFS, the big pine that went. It was a blue sprucey type thing, wasn't it? And those Norwegian spruces. But it's quick and easy and it's done.
You're paying for the convenience, you're not paying for a quality job.
And seal the floors, actually. They used to seal my floors with like a waterproof coat in that van.
Can't funky.
Huh?
Black and orange Peugeot back there.
Oh, I missed it. Oh, there's traffic lights up here.
Put roadworks in again.
No, clearing up the debris.
Oh.
Have they done it yet? No, they're still there.
Oh, is that the one on the corner of the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the thing is with me holding it between my legs, it bounces and jiggles a bit like it does normally, but it returns.
Shake. It doesn't shake, that's the problem. If I have that just attached to the car without a damped mount, it shakes too much, so it's like...
But there's also the fact that it always returns with my legs to the same position that I'm aiming it at, because I've got it in this locked-in position. So it just...
Basically the damp for it.
Yeah. Yeah, and the gyroscope, so it stays level.
No.
Except when you turn corners.
Oh.
Yeah, you might want to stop here.
It's kind of funny, there's no, like...
Yeah, I know. That's why I said you might want to stop here, because there's no, like, sign saying stop here.
Unless I missed it pulling up, but I didn't see it.
No, they didn't put one. There's 3 signs there to tell you about the red light, but they didn't put when red light show stop here sign. They haven't done it, so...
Oh well. Oh, it's been blown away.
Yeah, probably. Do you know how many times I've been stopped at these lights today now?
Too many.
4th time.
Mark 1 Ford car coming up. They're a rare beastie now.
I still hate them.
They're great little cars.
No, they're not. They're good. It's an happy shopper. It's the same quality as your Maestro. It's like not what I consider to be useful for a car because I need motorway driving.
They're not really designed for going on the motorway.
Exactly. So they're not my sort of car. So I hate them. Oh, I've driven one. I didn't like it. I thought it was the most...
They're Billy Basic, but I like Billy Basic, so...
That's why you drive a Princess.
I'll have you know, this is a middle class daughter.
I'm sorry, were you saying something? Deal with it.
There's a few trees down this road I want to go down, so I'm hoping that I'm all blown over. It's not the end of the world if they have, I can still get rid of it, but... Here actually, I thought it'd be a lot worse.